announce his new policies, DC crime and homelessness, and also beautification of DC.
I missed it. Some of our viewers said the podium rose a bit. Did they adjust the podium? One of our viewers thinks he is enjoying a Diet Coke before.
Why are these so much more full than the ones that I got in the fucking other pack? What the fuck? What the bullshit?
Ed O'Keefe posted a photo from the briefing saying it was very crowded. A very crowded briefing room. I just posted a link in the chat. Oh, thanks to Christopher Robbins. Thanks, Christopher, for your support. Might be hot in there today. I don't know. Any moment now, President Trump, DC crime press conference, guys. Any moment now. Will he announce some attempted federal takeover of DC in some sense? Will he take questions? Julie thinks that lawyers are already filing briefs behind the scenes. Thank you, Mama 457 Rose. I appreciate it. Live coverage. Adam Bertucci thinks by beautification he means banning the homeless. Everybody's just waiting. Everybody's just waiting. The people in that room have probably been there a while. They probably get there early.
It's like 6 a.m.
It is 10:25.
These are cool, bro. I gotta see what these look like. Hold on.
Oh, heck yeah. That's the shit right there.
Raven Knight says, waiting, waiting, waiting. Adam J. Galaxy says, I don't think he's coming out. No, I think he's going to come out. Thanks, Eliza Jane, for your support. Thank you, Eliza Jane. One of our viewers said he's going to come out in 5 minutes. Zach A. It's so quiet. Cindy Coker says, well, question mark. Steve Rolfe says they should all get up and go. Thanks, PC Meets our member. The Weather Buff, thanks for being a member. I'm waiting just like you guys. I want to see what he's going to say.
I have a feeling.
Chuck House thinks he will be cranky.
Why? Because Big Balls got attacked? I doubt those teenagers even knew who the fuck that dude was. They're just trying to carjack people.
$10.28, guys. Oh, did they just say something? Thank you, Kathleen Becker, as well. Thanks, Ronald Farha, our member. It was supposed to start at 10. It is now 10:28. Irish Sweetness says he is making them sweat. Marielle says, I don't care if it's the president, it's rude.
You're used to him being rude as well.
Railroad crossing ahead.
Some of our viewers think it will start at 10:30, which is in 2 minutes. Joshua White thinks he's coming out at 10:30. I didn't hear, I thought somebody said something, but I didn't specifically hear it. So. Golden Dusty thinks mass arrests are incoming. But maybe they said to me, I didn't hear it myself. Somebody dropped something or spilled something. AZ Intel says WRCTV claimed that Pam Bondi will give the press conference. Again, AZ Intel says WRCTV says Pam Bondi will be the Attorney General.
Sorry for the vibration on the video, y'all are watching this. Apologies.
Thank you, Justin.
This road is a little
Keever. Thanks so much, Justin. I appreciate that.
New word I just made up.
Thanks to all of our moderators who are in our chat rooms. Thank you. Zana Santiago says this whole thing is insane. Julie says that room is extremely crowded. Crowded in like sardines. Paul Will says, hurry it up. It is now 10:30. It is now 10:30. It's 10:30. Thank you, Jonathan, for your support. It is now 10:30. The official start time was 10. Hoover Maneuver, thanks for being a member. It's 10:31. The people who said 10:30 were not correct, because it is now 10:30. Seal
When they used to
57
yell,
says 10:30
"Take it
and still
to
nothing.
Hillary."
Joe Webb says it's like visiting a doctor's office.
They never locked her up, y'all.
Assault Rabbit says anticipation.
Now turn left and then join the highway.
National Guard troops going to D.C. He had said on social media that homeless people were going to have to leave D.C. Is he going to announce something about that? Thanks, Vindog Radio, for your support. The chat is proposing different times now. Thanks, Ronald Farha.
Like a rabbit.
And David Fisher. Thank you, David Fisher, for your support. Oh my gosh. And Lucchini 18. We're all waiting. The country is waiting to see what he'll say. Not the whole thing. I think a lot of people will this. 10:32 now.
Probably 45%.
10:32 a.m. Thank you, Adventurer, for your support. Joe Webb, thank you. Timido1, thank you. Zico Bito on Twitch, thank you. Dark Crypto.
Follow Interstate 95 north for 31 miles.
Big Shoe Far, Flumpingtons, thank you. Sherry Baker, thanks for being a member.
Maybe don't drive in the center of the fucking highway, man.
10:33. I bet it's hot in there. There's a lot of people in there, close quarters. I bet it's hot. I see people fanning themselves. When was it scheduled? 10 a.m. was the official start time. Seeing if I see any other reports about what he's going to say. I'm not seeing it at the moment. Catherine Gold, our viewer, thinks it'll be at 10:45. Vita is wondering if he will take questions. That I do not know. Thanks, Mitchell Pilot. Mitchell Pilot says the moon is small. He is spinning it. I'm sorry for the wait. I cannot control when the press conference starts. Thank you, Scott Wheeler, our member. Logan YouTube says he always takes questions. Now, is he still deciding what to say, or is that not why? Wally thinks it'll be 10:50. We're at 10:35. Boston Batman thinks he will take questions. Oh, guys, I'm looking at this right now. Politico reports that the White House plans to activate around 800 National Guard troops.
It's not enough. It's not enough for what they're gonna do.
2-minute warning. They all said yay. People said yay. 2 minutes. 2-minute warning. Politico says the White House will activate around 800 National Guard troops, by the way. You just heard it. 2-minute warning just given.
It was
Here we go.
2,000 last night. Now it's 800. They really don't have enough for that operation. Operation what? Clean sweep? Some stupid bullshit they're gonna call it. Jeez. What happened to helping the homeless?
I going to regret putting the word now in the headline 5 minutes from now when it hasn't started yet? No, I think they're going to start. Again, I might have to switch the camera angle right when it starts, but any moment now. Here we go. Again, Politico is saying the White House plans to activate around 800 National Guard troops and send them to D.C. to support local law enforcement. Zana Santiago says, here we go. We already heard the 2-minute warning. Guys, supposedly it's about to start. Supposedly. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Secretary of Defense Hegseth's there. Pam Bondi is there. All right, we'll see what President Trump has to say. We're still waiting. Here we go. Here he is.
I've never seen a crowd like this. I think we need a ballroom, and that's happening. It's going to be a beautiful ballroom. This is really a lot of people, most I've ever seen in this room. And we're here for a very serious purpose, very serious purpose. Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly, like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing up here a lot. I've never seen a crowd like this. I think we need a nation's capital. And that's happening. It's going to be a beautiful ballroom. This is really a lot of people, most I've ever seen in this room. And we're here for a very serious purpose, very serious purpose. Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly, like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States. I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening. They've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth. Much higher. This is much higher. The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. Murders in 2023 reached the highest rate probably ever. They say 25 years, but they don't know what that means because it just goes back 25 years. Can't be worse. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. and we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. Just like we did on our southern border. Nobody comes to our southern border anymore. 3 months in a row we had zero. I don't know if that's right, but the people that do the work, it's a very liberal group of people actually, and they actually said zero for the last 3 months. Nobody thought a thing like that was possible. And when you take a look at numbers, I just saw some charts. These are different cities throughout the world. Red is okay. The red is a place called Washington, D.C. Look at these. Baghdad we doubled up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia, San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogota, Colombia, heavy drugs. Mexico City, I mentioned, Lima, Peru, all double and triple what they are. So do you want to live in places like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think the people in this room,
There's nothing wrong with
if you wrote correctly, you'd see, look at the kind of numbers we have. DC, 41 per 100,000, number one that we can find anywhere in the world. Other cities are pretty bad, but they're not as bad as that. Is that where you want to live? The reporters of the world? Juvenile offenders and crimes against persons, as they say. It's getting worse. Not getting better, it's getting worse. And we had a recent indication, and there was a story about a man who was just left. He quit because he was asked to do phony numbers on crime. And we're going to look into that. I think Pam is going to be looking into that. But he was asked by the city, I guess, we don't want to show the real numbers. Let me do numbers so it looks like it's going down. Not going down. And under Biden, it was a disaster. And nobody did anything about it. We're going to do things about it like you wouldn't believe. Every American has a constitutional right to be able to access and petition their government in safety, and countless federal officials and employees likewise have the right to carry out their jobs in peace without being shot. As you know, I lost a very good person a while ago, was shot waiting for his wife. He was in the car, they robbed his car, they shot him, they killed him like it was nothing to it. She was walking to the car, it's a horror show. This issue directly impacts the functioning of the federal government and is a threat to America, really. It's a threat to our country. We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at Chicago, how bad it is. You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is. We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem. And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with DC, and we're going to clean it up real quick, very quickly, as they say. Days ago, a former member of the Doge staff was savagely beaten by a band of roving thugs after defending a young woman from an attempted carjacking. He was left dripping in blood. He thought he was dead, with a broken nose and concussion. Can't believe that he's alive. He can't believe it. In June, a 21-year-old congressional intern was tragically killed after being hit by a stray bullet in a drive-by shooting. A former Trump administration official named Mike Gill, fantastic person, was murdered last year in cold blood in a carjacking blocks away from the White House. We all knew him. Great person. Waiting for his wife as she was walking to the car. A Democrat congressman was also carjacked at gunpoint not far from the Capitol. And in 2023, an aide to Senator Rand Paul was stabbed in the chest and head by a demented lunatic as he walked down the street, just absolutely for no reason. Horrifically, last July 4th weekend, a 3-year-old girl was shot in the head and killed while sitting in a car near the Capitol. It's becoming a situation of complete and total lawlessness. And we're getting rid of the slums too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct you'll say, "Oh, so terrible." No, we're getting rid of the slums
They're not called
where they
slums,
live.
They're called ghettos. Thank you. All right.
Caravans of mass youth
They've always been called
rampage
ghettos.
through city streets at all times of the day. There are ATVs, motorbikes. They travel pretty well. Entire neighborhoods are now under emergency curfews. Just this past weekend, gunfire went through, and you saw that the
This
Navy
is a
Yard.
test. This
I
is
saw
a
it this
test
morning.
for him
I
to
saw
keep power.
that they
This is
fought
a
back
test.
against law. See, they fight back
This is not about shutting down.
until you knock the hell out of them, because it's the only
DC
language
for
they understand. But they fought back
protecting
against
the people. That
law
has nothing to do
enforcement
with this
last night.
bullshit.
And they're not going to be fighting back long, because I've
He's
instructed
doing
them.
a test run. He's doing a test run.
Told
to
them whatever
keep
happens, you
power
know, they
beyond
love to
his
spit in the
presidency.
face of the police as
He's
the
a
police are
fucking
standing
liar.
up there
He's a fucking liar.
in uniform. They're standing and they're screaming at him an inch away from their face, and then they start spitting in their face. And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit, and they get hit real hard. It's a disgusting thing. I've watched that for years, for 3-4 years. I've watched them. The police are standing, and they're told, don't do anything under any such of this, and you can see they want to get at it. And they're standing there, and the people are spitting in their face, and they're not allowed to do anything. But now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want. This dire public safety crisis stems directly from the abject failures of the city's local leadership. The radical left city council adopted no cash bail. By the way, every place in the country where you have no cash bail is a disaster. That's what started the problem in New York, and they don't change it. They don't want to change it. That's what started it in Chicago. I mean, bad politicians started it, bad leadership started it, but that was the one thing that's central: no cash bail. Somebody murders somebody and they're out on no cash bail before the day is out. We're going to end that in Chicago. We're going to change the statute. I spoke with Pam and Todd and everybody. We're going to change the statute, and I'm going to have to get the Republicans to vote, because the Democrats are weak on crime. Totally weak on crime. They don't know why. They want to stop because they get mugged too. But we're going to change no cash bail. We're going to change the statute and get rid of some of the other things. And we'll count on the Republicans in Congress and Senate to vote. We have the majority, so we'll vote. We don't have a big majority, but we've gotten everything, including the great, big, beautiful bill. Got that done, and that's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to people in this country. They're starting to figure it out, how good it is. Biggest tax cut in history. So many things. But we'll be able to get that done. So Todd, if you and Pam can draw up things working with the people, we will. I'll get it passed. We'll get it passed with the Republicans. Probably won't get. Think of this. Probably won't get one Democrat vote, because they have no idea what they're doing. That's why they want men playing in women's sports. That's why they want transgender for everybody. Everybody transgender. And they just got walloped in an election, in a landslide, and they haven't changed one thing. I saw the other day the certain gentleman who was very well-known politician, Democrat, was fighting like hell that men should be allowed to play in women's sport. They just don't get it. They said it's an 80-20 issue, and I think it's a 97-3 issue, and I don't know who the three are. I've never heard anybody nobody's ever come up to me, sir, you have to let men play in women's sports. You have to do it, sir. Nobody's ever approached me. I don't know where this issue even comes from. Never seen anything like it. But they turned our nation's capital into a sanctuary jurisdiction. That's the other thing. We have to get rid of sanctuary cities as quickly as possible. We're going to do it, too. We have to. Because it's sanctuary for criminals. Releasing illegal alien gang members onto the streets. In 2022, nearly 70% of criminals arrested in Washington went unprosecuted. That's not going to happen with the group we have standing aside and standing behind me. And at the Metropolitan Police Department, it's now reached a small number relatively compared to what it was, but it's thousands of people. You know, we have thousands of police. I was told today, sir, they want more police. I heard a number, 3,500 police. That's a lot of police. 3,500. I thought they were going to say, we only have 30 policemen or women. They said, we have 3,500. We need more. You don't need more. That's so many. I never heard. That's like an army. How could you need more than 3,000? It just happened 2 minutes ago. Sir, they've requested more police. Oh, what do they have? About 3,500. I said, 3,500? This is not a big area.
Another made-up
It's
conversation.
ridiculous. What you need is rules and regulations, and you need the right people to implement them. And we have the right people here, that I can tell you. Look at the border. Biden said there's nothing you can do. Kamala was the border czar. She never called one of the border patrol agents who are great. ICE is great. Never spoke to anybody. Never went there. But she was the border czar. And everybody said it was impossible to fix. I fixed it in 3 months. No, really. I fixed it the first week, but really fixed it over the last couple of months. And I mean, literally to a point where, as I said, 0 illegals entering our country in the last 90 days. Pretty amazing. It's time for dramatic action. We're going to do the same thing over here. It's going to be a very safe city very soon. We're not looking to take years, because a lot of people die in years. And we've got incredible people in this country, except we have to allow them to do their job. And that we will deliver like nobody's ever delivered before.
What are you braking for?
I actually think it's easy. You know, if you're competent, it's easy. If you're incompetent, it's impossible.
I'm following the person.
But I'm very
in front of you, so
competent.
fucking-
Last week, my administration surged 500 federal agents into the district, including from the FBI, ATF, DEA, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, the Secret Service, and the Department of Homeland Security. You know, a lot of nations, they don't have anything like that. They got some police,
McFly!
and they're rough police. They don't have DEA, ATF, FBI, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security. They got some police, but they're rough police, and they do their job. They don't have crime. We're not going to have crime either. They made dozens of arrests, and that's what starts to happen. Again, cashless bail. Watch what we do with that. Today we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was,
That's okay, because
with graffiti all over the walls. This is another part of it, by the way.
Russia's a shithole.
Because we're
They just
talking
never
about
talk
safety,
about it.
we're also talking about beautification. We have the most beautiful, potentially, capital in the world. We always had. But people come from Iowa, they come from Indiana, they come and then they get mugged. Not going to happen. Keep coming, because by the time you get your trip set, it's going to be safe again, and it's going to be clean very quickly. We're going to replace the medians that are falling down all over the roads. We're going to replace the potholes. We're going to put a nice new coat of asphalt over the top. No, we don't have to rip the road out and spend 7 years building a new road because they cut everything. Because some designer said, well, we need a 1/4 of an inch more turn for safety reasons. We're going to do it right. We're going to get it done quickly. So today we're declaring public safety emergency in the District of Columbia. And Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's fantastic, is taking command of the Metropolitan Police Department as of this moment. And I'll be making the appropriate notifications to Congress and to the mayor, our new DEA administrator, who's one of the top in the country. He better be Terry. If you're not, I'm going to get rid of you so fast. Terry Cole. Terry, thanks. Very good. We just got him. Most highly recommended person. And you'll be designated as the interim federal commissioner of the Metropolitan Police Department. Okay? And you run them tough. They're good. You have a lot of good people. You have people that shouldn't be there. You also have people that shouldn't be there. They got in there because of woke. But you have a lot of great police. And those people are the ones that want to help you. This city will no longer be a sanctuary for illegal alien criminals. We will have full, seamless, integrated cooperation at all levels of law enforcement, and we'll deploy officers across the district with an overwhelming presence. You'll have more police, and you'll be so happy because you'll be safe. When you walk down the street, you're going to see police, or you're going to see FBI agents. We're going to have a lot of agents on the streets. You're going to have a lot of essentially military, and we will bring in the military if it's needed, by the way. We're going to have National Guard. But Pete Hegseth will tell you about it. We will bring in the military if needed. People say, oh, that's so terrible. He's going to bring in, it's been used many times over the years. I don't think we'll need it. I think we've got so many great people, including the people that are in the police department with proper leadership. They'll immediately begin massive enforcement operations targeting known gangs, drug dealers, and criminal networks to get them the hell off the street, maybe get them out of the country, because a lot of them came into our country illegally. They shouldn't have been allowed in. They come from Venezuela. They come from all over the world. We're going to get them the hell out. They won't be here long. But some of these people, a lot of them, are homegrown criminals. And these are bad people. These are rough people. And this is just a list of some of the people that were given to me today that were criminals removed from the DC streets this weekend. They were rough.
That's what he likes to lie.
Rough and tough. But we're rougher and tougher.
Hispanics and
Look at
blacks,
these
but never a
people
white
here.
name. A little funny, huh?
Nothing, you know. They're not going to be your local school teacher. Look at this guy. He has killed people numerous times. They're not going to be...
In 5 miles,
They will
take
never be
right
an
exit
asset
109 to
society.
Georgia 21 South.
We all want to say, oh, they're going to be rehabbed. It's not going to be rehabbed. I'm going to ask Doug Burgum to come up and say a couple of words because he's in charge, as you know. He's Interior, but he's in charge of the U.S. Park Police. And I've heard so many great things about the Park Police. They're proud of it. They've been there for a long time. Their families oftentimes grow into the roles. They love the country. They love this area. So, Doug, could you say a few words, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the U.S. Park Police, this is the oldest federal police force in the nation. They were formed in 1791 by none other than President George Washington. They've got the awesome responsibility of protecting our nation's most sacred monuments. The National Mall, Washington Monument, Jefferson Memorial, Lincoln Memorial, Statue of Liberty, and out west, the Presidio and the Golden Gate area. These folks have tens of millions of visitors a year, the kind of people that President Trump's talking about that come from around the country and around the world to see our sacred and learn about our history and our sacred monuments. They've been doing a fantastic job, but they are so pleased, the rank and file, that President Trump is now allowing them to enforce the law. As those of you that live in the city may know, that the circles and the triangle parks that are spread throughout DC are actually federal park property. So the U.S. Park Police also have responsibility for that. These became littered with homeless camps under the Biden administration. All of you saw that. Since President Trump's executive order on March 27th, making DC safe and beautiful again, the U.S. Park Police removed over 70 homeless camps. And President Trump also talked about beautification. They're stopping and enforcing the laws against graffiti on our monuments. They've removed over 80 specific attacks against our history.
In 3 miles, take right exit 109.
Continue to do a great job, whether it's in their vehicles, on foot, or on the mounted police that you see around the National Mall. And President Trump, they thank you. The rank and file is so happy to be enforcing the law again. Thank you for your leadership, and they're excited about the announcement you're making today.
Thank you very good. Great job you did. Thank you very much. Pete, could you say something about the military?
Well, Mr. President, it's an honor to be here. And at your direction this morning, we've mobilized the DC National Guard. It'll be operationalized by the Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, through the DC Guard. You will see them flowing into the streets of Washington in the coming week. At your direction as well, sir, there are other units we are prepared to bring in. Other National Guard units, other specialized units. They will be strong, they will be tough, and they will stand with their law enforcement partners. This is nothing new for DOD. As the President noted, at the border, we've got 10,000 troops down there who've been operating.
In 2 miles, take right exit 109 to Georgia 21 South.
Where there's zero illegal crossings because of troops on strikers scanning the border. We've been protecting other people's borders for 20 years. it's about time we protect our own. And we're working with ICE and CBP. In Los Angeles, we did the same thing. Working with the California National Guard, working with ICE officers. ICE officers deserve to do their job and not be attacked. We will work alongside all DC police and federal law enforcement to ensure this city is safe, this city is beautiful. And as I always say about President Trump to the troops, he has their back. And my message to the National Guard and federal law enforcement in Washington is, we have your back as well. Be tough, be strong, we're right behind you. Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm going to ask Pam, because she's now, as you heard me say, she's really in charge of a lot of what we're talking about. She's done an incredible.
In 1 mile, take right exit 109, then turn left.
And maybe you could say a few words about what we're talking about here.
Sure, President. Let me be crystal clear. Crime in DC is ending and ending today. We are going to use every power we have to fight criminals here. President, thank you for caring about our capital. Families come here every summer. Our museums are free. We have the National Zoo. We have the National Gallery. DC should be a place where everyone can come and feel safe. Behind me and to my side, we have some of the best career law enforcement and prosecutors in the country.
In a quarter of a mile, take exit 109 to Georgia 21 South, then turn left.
Terry Cole is going to be supervising the Metro Police Department. Gaddy Serralta, our U.S. Marshal, is going to be supervising.
Now exit right, then turn left.
The entire operation. Our Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, and I will be working with them closely, along with our great FBI Director, Kash Patel. Kash is going to talk to you in a minute about what we did in Virginia.
Now turn left.
Governor Youngkin. Many of you covered that, and it was tremendously successful. Not only that, our secret weapon here in DC is U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, one of the toughest prosecutors and a former judge, and she is going to be talking about juvenile crime, how it's out of control here, and what she's going to do to fight back. No more crime rampant in our beautiful capital. No more teenage girls beating a disabled man to death. No more of that. No more drive-bys. We're going to do everything we can. And working with the ATF Director Driscoll and Commander of the Army,
Why is she laughing?
we're going to all work together. That's what we all do in this room. We work together. We fight. Do not underestimate one person in this room. We're going to make DC beautiful. We're going to make DC safe again. One other thing, just at the wharf a few days ago, the area of the wharf, Terry Cole reached out to me, not even nightfall, on the weekend, where so many families and tourists go. A guy's overdosing from fentanyl on a park bench. In the middle of families around, they administer Narcan and saved his life. No more of that. The President of the United States is going to clean up DC, and we're going to be there to help him, and we're going to be successful. Thank you.
Now all of a sudden, Trump's the Superman that's going to take care of it.
Northern Virginia, we had a big success.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for your leadership, Deputy Attorney General, and the rest of our interagency partners. Mr. President, the following is what happens when you let good cops be cops. And I just want to highlight that before I get into Northern Virginia. This year alone, under President Trump's administration, we've had over 4,000 child victims identified and found. That's a 33% increase from the same time period last year. 33% increase. We've had a seizure of 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl up to this date. That is a 25% increase since the same time period last year. And just to put it in perspective, 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl is enough to kill 115 million Americans. 115 million Americans. Cops are getting after it. The FBI has arrested 19,000 people this year alone. Thanks to President Trump's administrations, that's double than where we were this time last year. And we have also arrested 1,600 people who have committed violent acts against children. 270 of them are human traffickers of children. Mr. President, this is what happens when you have great leadership at the Attorney General with Pam Bondi. Your administration's priority of protecting the homeland and protecting American citizens and protecting our children, and the murder rates are plummeting. We are now able to report that the murder rate is on track to be the lowest in U.S.
history, in modern recorded U.S. history, thanks to this team behind me and President Trump's priorities. And how did we do it? And what are we going to bring to D.C.? What we did in Northern Virginia, thanks to Terry Cole and Governor Youngkin and the team, we stood up a task force out in my Northern Virginia field office, and we said, let's let good cops be cops, let's get them the intelligence and what they need, and let's get the red tape out of their way, and let's get DOJ partnered up with us to bring great prosecutions, and that's exactly what we did. In 1 month, we arrested 545 violent felons. 545 in the state of Virginia, thanks to Governor Youngkin's partnership. And that simplicity in law enforcement is what's coming to Washington, D.C. When you let good cops be cops, when you give them the intel they need, when you work with our Homeland Security Task Force, when you work with Terry and Gaddy and I go way back to Miami, these guys are great leaders of the respective departments and law enforcement capacities. And when you have the DOJ and President Trump driving behind this mission, we are going to clean up Washington, D.C. And we're going to do it the right way, the lawful way, and we're going to make sure Washington, D.C. is safe again. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General.
Thank you, Cash. So, the process begins right now. It actually started over the weekend. And we confronted a lot of very bad people, but it's going to be something that will be pretty amazing to you as you watch it. And I think most of you say it's a beautiful thing to do it right. We're going to be removing homeless encampments from all over our parks, our beautiful, beautiful parks, which now a lot of people can't walk on. They're very dirty, we got a lot of problems. But we've already started that. We're moving the encampments away, trying to take care of people. Some of those people, we don't know how they even got there. Some of those people are from different countries, different parts of the world. Nobody knows who they are. They have no idea, but they're there. We're getting rid of the people from underpasses and public spaces from all over the city. There are many places that they can go, and we're going to help them as much as you can help. But they'll not be allowed to turn our capital into a wasteland for the world to see. The Metropolitan Police Department and the federal authorities will be supported in the effort, a really big effort, the 800 DC National Guardsmen that we'll put on, and much more if necessary, much more. You remember I said, I offered 10,000 once. Remember I said to a certain person, a person who I thought always was highly overrated, not very competent, but I said, if you need them, we'll give you 10,000 of the military or the National Guard. They turned me down. But if necessary, we're going to move service members directly to joining the Guardsmen. And that'll take place very rapidly, and that'll be done in conjunction with Pam and with Pete and everybody else. Washington, D.C. should be... We're going to make it that. We're going to make it safe. We're going to make it smart. We're going to make it beautiful. So beautiful. Some of the buildings, we're going to add to it. You see what we've done at the White House. White House is a whole different building. I do that in my part-time because it's a natural instinct as a real estate person. I was very good at that, and I was very good at fixing things up. I like fixing things up. You see what's happening. The marble floors are being reinstalled, renovated, fixed. The whole place is becoming very beautiful. We're going to be adding a magnificent ballroom, most beautiful ballroom I think anywhere. We need it. I would have certainly loved to have had it today. I think we would have filled it up. A lot of you are standing outside, can't get in this room. I have never seen the room like this, which tells me that you want to talk about, I mean, this was a DC news conference. It tells me that you want to talk about crime in DC and beautification of DC, but I'm going to put that's easy. And I think, frankly, fixing the crime with the pros, fixing the crime is easy too. A person who I've known for a long time, and she's been incredible. She was a fantastic, one of the best ever district attorneys in New York. She was in Westchester, and she became a judge, very successful.
In a quarter of a mile, use the right lane and keep right onto State Highway 21 and then continue straight ahead.
Such a good judge, tough judge, but fair, always fair. Nobody ever complained about that, but she was tough. And because of that and her reputation.
Now keep right and then continue straight ahead onto Old Augusta Road South.
Actually, showbiz was not her thing. It was, and she did great. She was on along with a couple of other.
In 700 feet, continue straight ahead onto Old Augusta Road.
got a green there.
Julie's going to be incredible.
Now continue
And
straight
I'd like
ahead.
to introduce to speak for just a few seconds on what she has in mind, what she wants to do. We're going to be appointing some judges. You know, we have some open spots, and we're going to take people because the judges are letting killers out. They just say, "Go, that's okay. Don't worry about it." So we're putting some Pam recommended, Todd recommended, some judges that are great. Janine recommended. Janine's given me 3 great candidates already. We have about 10 open spots, so we can probably create some more. We need them. Janine, would you say a few words, please?
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you, Madam Attorney General, and to all my partners here. We all want the same thing. We all want a safe city. We want a safe capital. We want to be able to bring our families here. We want to be able to come and enjoy the history that makes this place great. And unfortunately, we are not in that position right now. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for taking the step that we need right now to make criminals understand that they are not going to get away with it anymore. And I'm not going to stand here and go over and over the cases. But what I can tell you is this. I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together in gangs and crews and beat the hell out of you or anyone else. They don't care where they are. They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone of shooting another person with an illegal gun on a public bus in the chest. Intent to kill? I convict him.
That's
You know
what
what
you
the
need
judge
to
gives
do.
him?
It's the parents.
Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to
Make
go
the parents go
after
to jail
the
with these
DC
assholes.
Council and their absurd laws. We need to get rid of this concept of, no cash bail. We need to recognize that the people who matter are the law-abiding citizens. And it starts today. But it's not going to end today, because the president is going to do everything we need to do to make sure that these emboldened criminals understand we see you, we're watching you, and we're going to change the law to catch you. And my final note is this. These kids understand that the jurisdiction is through the State Attorney General, Brian Schwab. I did a poster of the young man from Doge who was beaten bloody with a severe concussion, a broken nose. And then I did a poster of what happens to those kids, because I can't arrest them, I can't prosecute them. They go to family court and they get to do yoga and arts and crafts.
They get released.
Enough. It
You
changes
don't have enough money to
today.
hold all those people.
Thank you,
fucking
Mr.
release
President.
them. What the fuck? Why do you think it keeps on happening?
Thank you.
Yeah, the laws
If
are
I could,
fucking lies.
I
That's
just
the problem.
signed some executive orders. I'd like to have Will please come up and
Stop,
we'll
let
let the people know what
releasing
we
these
signed. You want to put them down?
Yes, sir.
dumbasses back into the streets. These violent
A short
punks.
while ago in the Oval Office, President Trump signed 2 crucial executive actions to deal with the emergency crime conditions we currently face in the District of Columbia. The first of these was an executive order, as President Trump said before, invoking his powers under Section 40 of the Home Rule Act to take federal control of the D.C. Metropolitan
It's
Police
a test for
Department.
him to be
Along with that
president.
executive order,
That's
President
the
Trump
presidential.
signed the
That's what this is.
statutorily required notification letters to Mayor Bowser and to the relevant House and Senate committee leaders. The second major executive action that President Trump signed was a presidential memorandum directing the Secretary of Defense to utilize the National Guard to address the conditions we see on our streets here in D.C. It also authorized the Secretary of Defense to work with state governors to utilize their National Guard units if necessary as well. These are bold, decisive steps intended to combat the out-of-control crime conditions we've seen on D.C.'s streets for far too long, and I, for one, am deeply proud to be part of an administration that's finally coming to terms with these issues, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you. So, just to conclude, Washington, D.C. should be one of the safest, cleanest, most beautiful places anywhere in the world. It was years ago. We had one problem that was a pretty big problem. The radical left got out of control and they started trying to rip down statues. And I said, let's go pass the law real fast. We're going to do it real fast. We were blocked by the Democrats who do not want safety. Nobody gets it. I don't get it. They don't get it because they can't get votes. I don't know how they can win an election with this, but they don't want safety. And I found an old statute, very old, early 1900s, that said if you so much as touch or even think about destroying a statue or a monument in Washington, D.C., you go to jail for 10 years with no probation, no anything. In other words, slightly different than we have today. Today we have cashless bail. There you get jailed 10 years. No curtailed sentence.
In a quarter of a mile, take the second exit at the traffic circle towards Old Augusta Road.
Nobody used it. It was never used because, it was harsh. And you remember they started to rip down the statue of Abraham Lincoln. I said, that's a tough one to rip down. He was pretty good, Pam. I think he was pretty good. When they
take the second exit at the traffic circle.
Abraham Lincoln to pull him down, Andrew Jackson, others. And they were heading to the Jefferson Memorial, Thomas Jefferson. We're going to do a big number there. I said, it's time. And I signed that statute immediately. We had it updated. We made it, use the same language, all passed by Congress. And I announced it's 10 years in jail, no probation, no anything, 10 years, no curtail sentence if you touch, so much as touch a statue in Washington, D.C. And it was an amazing sight, beautiful sight. Everybody just left. The ropes were hanging around Andrew Jackson. There were 2 ropes around Abraham Lincoln. They left the rope. But everybody just left. I know it was the last problem we ever had. You know, that was the last problem that we ever had with the statues. They were going wild. And somebody came to me and said, sir, in 1910, I don't want to give you an exact because you'll say, Donald Trump gave us wrong dates around like early on. If I'm slightly off, they make you sound a little bad. So I won't put myself in that position. I won't put you in that position. Because I think everybody agrees with what we're doing today. But when I signed that thing, it was like a miracle. Everybody left. They were gone. They were starting to march down. They started the march toward Thomas Jefferson. And I figured he was always going to be safe. But they found something with him, and they found something with Abraham Lincoln. And even in the name George Washington in California, numerous places changed the
railroad
name.
Crossing ahead.
George Washington High School and various other places. They took George Washington's name. This was a sick, woke culture that I think we've largely ended. And a lot of those people that were woke are now turning out to be the opposite. I won't go so far as to say MAGA. It's a very special category. But they've gotten out of that. But we have people that love this country and they love this really beautiful capital. It is. I flew over it the other day and I said, what a beautiful place. But
in a quarter of a mile, use the right lane and turn right and then turn slightly right.
So we're going to make it beautiful again. We're going to fix it with crime, and we're going to also, as we're doing that, we're going to start doing things that we know how to do, that I know how to do better than anybody, I guess, because of my experience from previous life. But not only are we stopping the crime, we're going to clean up the trash and
now turn right and then turn slightly right.
Dirt and the broken marble panels and all of the things they've done to hurt this city. And we're going to restore the city back to the gleaming capital that everybody wants it to be. It's going to be something very special. All of these people are really tough. Could I shake your hand, Gaddy, please? You're going to be so important here. You're going to be that guy. I hope I don't have to fire him.
Now turn slightly right and then you will reach your destination.
I don't think he's too soft. If I do, I will, though. Is it okay? If you're soft, weak, and pathetic, like so many people, I will fire you so fast. You're not going to have to worry about that. No, I think you're going to do a fantastic job. And everybody in this room, they may not express it, but they all want that to happen. They want to be safe, and they have families too. So it's an honor to have such a large group. I've done this for years now, hard to believe. I've never seen this room so packed. In fact, I'm sure it's a violation of every fire code. But we'll let you stay anyway. You're taking a chance. And with that, we'll say maybe if you could. Oh wow, we could be here all day long. If we could keep the first questions perhaps to this subject, and then we'll go on to a few others. Please.
Mr. President, thank you so much. Can you talk about how personal of an issue this is? We talked about flying over the Washington Monument and seeing the pride of what D.C. is. Do you believe that the status of the city, the cleanliness, the way that crime is low, is a direct reflection on how the country is run?
Yeah, I do. I think the Capitol, look, everyone comes here. They're all coming. All the leaders, they're all wanting to come. And I say it, I've said it again, but I'm really just quoting other leaders from NATO, from the Middle East, King of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE. I was over there. We brought back $5.1 trillion of investment into our country. But I was a month and a half ago. I was at NATO. I had a great thing. They agreed to put up 5% instead of 2%. 2% they didn't pay. 5% is already paid. We had a great meeting, and they all said the same thing. They said our country was dead. They thought our country was gone. 1 year ago, they said your country was dead. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. We do. We have the hottest country in the world right now. The tariffs have helped. It's given us not only the money, it's billions, trillions of dollars of money, but it gives us great power over enemies. We solved 5 wars with Pakistan and India. We just solved one. Azerbaijan and, as you know, in Armenia. War was raging for 37 years. And the 2 leaders got up and they said, we never thought this would be solved. Russia tried to solve it. They all tried to solve it. It was a very tough situation, but we got it done and got it done. And I said to the 2 men,
Russia did
I said, are you guys friends? And they had a hard time. You know, they've been killing each other for 37 years, right? One was there 5 years, one was there for 22 years. He said, my whole life I've been fighting this war, and you got it solved. But we did many of those. We did in the Congo and Rwanda. That's been going on for 30 years. 8 to 9 million people killed that they know of. But it was
Start navigation. We're heading to Georgia Pacific Corporation, McDonough, Georgia.
You want to have, when they come, the leaders come to our country to sign documents that the war is over or whatever, or for other reasons. They come for trade. And you want them to come through so beautifully. You ride down those roads, everything should be perfect. You shouldn't have medians falling down into the roadway. Median, you know, the metal things that are always, somebody had a great lobbyist, because I've never seen them look good. I've been looking at those things with the little, right? They're always broken, bad, but here they're really bad. And we're going to either put new or fix it.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm here, how are you?
Not too bad.
You been here before?
Yeah.
I'm about to say, what you doing in this line?
Yeah. I gotta pick up, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can go ahead to the window.
All right.
Aren't quite at that level yet, I don't think.
Bitch. Damn, they need to repave this shit in here. I'm tired of coming here. It's all fucking potholes. How the hell did they get a U.S. foods trailer? Where the hell is it here? Fort Mill. I feel like I've been there before. This way. Take a look, see. He's still talking.
I want the country. I only care about the country. I don't care about myself. On subjects, does anybody have a question of them? And then you guys can leave. Okay, a question, Brian, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And by the way, this is only on DC, and then they're going to leave because it's unfair to have them stand up here all day long. Brian.
I've got two questions for you. First, about DC. This is personal for me as well. Last year, I was robbed on the streets by one of these teenage thugs. Had a gun, got away with it. Let's talk about the effort that between law enforcement, prosecutors, and judges, because it's a, recycling belt. Like these kids go, they don't fear the police. They know. If you talk about how we've got to get these judges and put these kids behind bars,
Right.
adult crimes deserve adult penalties. And my second question, I'll have you answer that. Please.
Yeah, but that's not the law.
Whoever wants to.
Okay, it's real. You want me to answer? Here's the problem. Assuming that they're 17 years, older than 17 years old, I can get the case. If they're under 18 years of age, I can only get the case if it's murder, rob one, rape, or even if they shoot a gun but don't kill you, I can't get it. So the law has to be changed. As the president said, capseless ban, that has to be changed. All right, then even assuming I get the case, I get jurisdiction, I get a conviction, the DC Council has given the judges the ability to give probation on shootings. And so then it's up to them. All of these things, the Youth Rehabilitation Incarceration Reduction Act, and now they want to seal records. So if we work hard, we get a conviction, they want to wipe it out. So that needs all to be changed.
Mayor, would you answer that?
Yeah, and just back to that topic. Let's be clear though. We're going to charge them, and we're going to track every single thing they do throughout every step of the court process and report back to you and let all of you know what's happening to them. Because the people who are prosecuting them, the judges who are trying them, they also need to be held accountable.
Mr. President, this is the most people we've ever seen in this briefing.
I've never seen
ever, right?
Yeah, I've never seen that. Where's Caroline? Where's my superstar? Caroline. Is Caroline in the back? Where's Caroline? Come here, Caroline. Come here, Caroline. Come here. Is she doing a good job, by the way? Come here. Is this the largest crowd that you've ever seen?
This is definitely the most packed briefing, and I think all of you would agree. I think it's why we need to build a wall.
Mr. President, I have a better idea.
All right, Brian, go ahead.
You're building the big, beautiful ballroom. Could we build a big, beautiful briefing room of that technology?
Yeah.
More seats.
I don't want to do that. I don't want you to be comfortable. So, no, I don't want to make my. So look. Let's just do this. It's going to be a big thing. We're going to Russia. It's going to be a big deal. Biden gave them $350 billion. Europe gave $100 billion. It should be much more than that. It should have been that kind of, they should have had equalization, but they didn't. But you know what? Still a lot of money. They want to get back to building their own countries. They really want to resolve. My relationship with the European leaders, as you saw, is extremely good. It's perfect. It's beautiful. Wait. And we're going to try. I'll be in touch with them. I have 5 of them call me. And you think it's easy? There are a lot of European leaders, but they rely on me. Very much rely on me. If it wasn't for me, this thing would never get solved.
Everybody relies
the
on
last
you.
person breathing is dead.
The whole fucking world takes care of
I'm talking to them right now. So I'm talking to the European
break,
leaders.
bro.
I'll be talking to presidents.
Give me a break.
I'm going to get everybody's ideas. I go into that thing fully loaded right up there.
Give me a break.
And we're going to see what happens. Now, I think one of 2 things is going to happen. It'll be a good meeting, and we'll go a step further. We'll get it done. I'd like to see a ceasefire very, very quickly. Very quick. I'd like to see it immediately, but I'd like to see it very quickly. And we're going to be dealing with the European leaders, and we're going to be dealing with President Zelensky, and hopefully we're going to have a great success. As far as this, what we did today, and I think you were here for D.C. more so than even Russia, because Russia will be, we have a couple of days to go, but the Russia's going to be very interesting. But to me, what is very exciting, we're going to take back our capital. We're going to make it beautiful again, but we're going to make it, more importantly, safe again. It's going to be so safe. It's going to be a model. And then we'll look at other cities also. But other cities are studying what we're doing. And we have some capable people in other cities. They can do it too. But we have a great group of professionals. We're going to have a safe, beautiful capital, and it's going to happen very quickly. Thank you all. Thank you all very much.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have another room.
Okay, so that was President Trump announcing the big headlines from that are that he said he was placing the DC police under federal control, and he is deploying, I think he said, about 800 National Guard troops to DC to fight crime there. We're going to talk about this, but I do want to mention, sorry, I was taking a few minutes here and keeping an eye on a different news story, which is going on, which is there has been an explosion at the U.S. Steel Coke Works plant, I think it is, in Clairton, Pennsylvania. And I first heard about this from AZ Intel. Thanks, AZ Intel. And it's being reported that there could be a number of injuries at this at this U.S. Steel plant explosion. This is at the U.S. Clairton Coke Works plant in Clairton, Pennsylvania. So I just want to keep an eye on that as well. Kind of doing two things at once here. Actually, I know this is off topic, but I could really quickly just check the scanner for that. So I know it's off topic, but it's some breaking news that came out as we were watching the press conference. According to Broadcastify, a level 2 mass casualty incident was declared. So let me just take a second and put on the scanner and just see what's on it. If you guys will allow me to do that. Hang on a second here. I haven't really had a chance to listen while I was listening to the press conference, so I'm sorry to kind of interrupt the topic, but...
He's getting ready to start his log now. Form out.
Listen for a second. This is a scanner from Broadcastify.com. And there's like...
470 SS1. 470 SS1. Also be advised, we do have SF-50 responding from Washington.
I'm just trying to get a sense of this incident. And where they're at in terms of handling it. Again, this is it's the U.S. Steel Coke Works plant in Clairton, Pennsylvania. There has been an explosion there, and some outlets say it is a mass casualty incident.
Start navigation. We're heading to Georgia Pacific Corporation, McDonough, Georgia.
Multiple people were injured. Oh, Governor Shapiro said the scene is still active. Hey guys, so what I'm wondering...
Coffee's good.
What I'm wondering is, should we start a new stream to talk about
start
the
a new
explosion?
stream.
I don't have a great. I mean, it seems like it's certainly a big deal. I don't know that I'll have any video of it, but I'm wondering if maybe we should just do a different stream and talk about that. So, yeah, maybe we'll do that. So I think what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to really quickly as I can, start a new stream. Okay? No, I don't want to just change the headline. I want to start a new stream because we already had this stream going on. So give me about 5-10 minutes. By the way, just really quick, let me thank a couple people who I thank in the chat. Andrew Schlegel, Steve B, Bama Fan, Damp, F Hammer, GDHHR, SGHR, Hebrew Jerusalem Prince, the Vladinator, PK, Doc No 27, Marnie Gamer, Chris, Carrier Kyle, Captain Obvious, Super Freeze, the Vladinator, Crazy Yoda, Obi Cannoli, thank you, Kate89, I just owed a couple people thank you, Joe Webb, Joe Alvar, Renga, hopefully I thanked everybody else in the chat. I'm going to come back and do that. Minimal Motion on Twitch, Little Lamb, Dark Crypto, Timido1. Thank you to all of our moderators. So what I'm going to do is, let me get off the air fast and start a new stream fast, okay? That's my plan, okay? I'm going to do that. So I'll be back in a few minutes. I just got to get off the air and just set that stream up, okay? So hopefully you guys hopefully we can be back on the air in a few minutes, and I'll see you then. Sorry to really rush off, but I want to just get on the air and cover that, okay? So, thank you for joining our live coverage of this, the announcement about DC. I'm sorry to rush off, but I do think we should get on and cover that. All right, so that's it for now. I'm going to go set that up, and I'll be back in a few minutes. We'll see you soon. Thank you again to all of our moderators here, Roberts May Queen, and 13 Alamo, Big Ball of Yarn, DeBears, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, Kay Lowry, Body, Margaret Riley, Valerie Gail Griffin, Shannon Davis Hughes, Linda Bell, Larry, Nisha, and all of our other moderators. Okay, let me wrap this up. I'm going to try to get another stream on right away, and I'll probably see you in a few minutes, okay? So thanks, and we'll hopefully see you soon.
D-Bears!